So what's up, guys? This is going to be my spoiler discussion about the Rise of Skywalker, and you better sit down because I have a lot on my mind to get off about this movie. I have so many questions. I wanted to make a list, but I'd be writing a book, so I'm just going to go off the top of my head because I'm just going to make myself angry by making a list to have bullet points. So I'm just going to go off the top of my head based off of like how the movie happened. Before I get anything, this is a spoiler video. So if you do not want spoiled, don't watch this video. Like, this is your warning. I'm going to get into spoilers right away. It's going to get very intense. I have a lot on my mind. Okay, your warning has happened. Okay. The opening crawl text or whatever, right off the bat, they're like, hey, Palpatine's here. Everybody's looking for Palpatine. What? What the fuck? Really? It's been like 30-some years. We had episode 7 and episode 8. No sign of Palpatine at all. Episode 9 starts. Hey, opening scroll. Palpatine's here. Everyone's looking for him. He's out and about. What? What? Right off the bat. It's just like 0 to 100 in the first 30 seconds. Palpatine's alive. Okay. So, the movie opens with Kylo searching for this artifact to find Palpatine, which also was 0 to 100 really quickly. It's like Kylo goes off to find this artifact, doesn't explain how he finds it, how he knows what it does, but he finds it, and it automatically just, boom, takes him straight to Palpatine. So Palpatine, I guess, is just like Luke. He doesn't want to be found by anyone, but he leaves clues for people to find him. So Palpatine has 2 cubes. 2 cubes have been made. One of them is on the Death Star hidden, which we'll get to later. And then one of them is on this planet, which is just in this like statue thing, which Kylo finds. Was Palpatine like planting these ahead of time for people to find him? Like, was this part of his plan? I don't know, but Kylo finds this cube thing, goes to find Palpatine. This whole Sith temple thing, I think is really cool. I like the whole evilness. Like, the whole movie opens, I mean, it's really fast-paced, but it's dark, and creepy, and we're getting some Palpatine screen time. I'm like, oh, hot damn, they're going to explain what's going on with Palpatine. So he shows up, and Palpatine's, like, talking to Kylo, and right away they retcon the whole Snoke thing, which I don't get. Like, Snoke is shown in this, like, tube thing. Like, it's insinuated that he says he created Snoke. Did he, like, clone him? What did he clone him from? Like, there's a Snoke sitting in this giant tube. What the hell is he? How does he have force powers? What is Snoke? Like, I get that Palpatine created Snoke. He created Snoke to run the First Order, but why does he need him to run the First Order? What was the purpose of the First Order if he's making himself another army? I don't know. So, Snoke gets retconned right off the bat because Palpatine somehow created Snoke. I guess we'll just brush over that. Okay, so he comes face to face with Palpatine. Palpatine is hooked up to this, like, life support machine, and Palpatine is, like, a creepy-looking zombie figure. Like, his eyes are non-existent. He doesn't have pupils. His fingers are all, like, broken off and stuff. He is, like, a zombie. So it's been, like, 30 years since episode 6, and we have zombie Palpatine. I have so many questions. How did Palpatine survive getting thrown down the pit? How did Palpatine survive the Death Star explosion? How did he survive, like, the vacuum of space? How the fuck did he get from point A to point B, get hooked up to life support? Why, like, he can't be a clone. Because if he's a clone, why is he all zombified and, like, dead? If he, like... He couldn't have died in the Death Star because the Death Star exploded. He would be in smithereens. So what is he? How is he a zombie? Like, how does he have pieces of his body eroding away? He can't be a corpse. And if he is, how is he like reanimated? Like, how did Palpatine get here? They did not explain that at all. He's just here. He just showed up, and so he single-handedly built the First Order. But let's go back even further. He had the Empire. All right, the Empire failed, so I guess he wanted to start over. So he did all the stuff that's canon in like Battlefront 2. He had like all these plans to just erase the Empire. So he makes the First Order, which is run by Snoke, which is someone he created. And while the First Order's doing their stuff, he's making his own army on the planet that he's on. And, like, how does he have all these resources? How did he keep it a secret this whole time? Like, there's so many fucking questions, and we're not even past this opening scene yet. None of these questions get answered in the movie. Like, how? How's he alive? That's a pretty major plot point. That whole arc of Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, he brought freaking balance to the Force by killing Palpatine, and he didn't even kill him, and he's here he is. And then fucking Kylo is just right off the bat, he's like, hey, go kill my granddaughter, who's Rey. Go kill her. And he's just like, sure, whatever. Sure did take some convincing there, Kylo. So, okay. So, right off the bat, we get Palpatine, no explanation. We get, find out that Rey is the granddaughter of Palpatine, which didn't even realize Palpatine had a son. No explanation to that, but apparently had a son, and his son had Rey, and then he sends somebody to kill off Rey's parents, which is technically his son. Why didn't he try to, you know, pass on everything to his son? Why didn't he make his son the next in line to rule? Okay, I don't know. So none of that stuff makes any sense to me, but at least it gives some explanation to like how Rey is so OP in this trilogy. Like, Rey is the biggest Mary Sue like ever. Like, she's just so powerful because at least she's a Palpatine, so it makes some sense how she picks up the Force a little bit. There's at least an explanation, so they retcon that in 8. Then there's a whole bunch of like just fluff in between, like Lando shows up and all that stuff. Like, I didn't have much of a problem with the middle of the movie. The Force powers are such an ass pull. Like, I don't understand the Force teleporting. This has never been a thing in Star Wars. How is Kylo and Rey connected? They're just connected somehow, and they can teleport shit back and forth through this connection. They can teleport each other back and forth conveniently. Haven't seen this in the prequels, haven't seen this in the original trilogy. Somehow, some way, shape, or form, Kylo and Rey have this Force connection. Okay, they just have it. So that's an ass pull. Force healing is introduced for the first time, which is convenient. Like, she heals this creature, and then she goes on, and it's used later to heal Kylo and shit. So that ability is an ass pull. Rey has obviously become really powerful with the Force. She uses Force lightning at some point. There's just so many problems with this movie, guys. And there's some stuff that never got addressed. Like, at one point in this movie, Finn is like, they're in this like sand pit, and like Finn screams out to Rey, he's like, I gotta tell you something, and you assume like he's gonna say that he loves her, right? Well, that doesn't get addressed at all the rest of the movie. Like, there's a point where Finn and Poe and Chewie and them are all captured, and Poe brings it up again, like, what were you going to tell Rey? And that's all we hear of it. He doesn't address it at all throughout the rest of the movie. Even at the end of the movie, he doesn't tell her that he loves her. It just gets brushed under the rug. So, like, What happens with that? Oh my god. And then we get to the final act. I'm just going to skip all the middle stuff. Like the whole dagger and the whole figuring out where Palpatine is. It ultimately doesn't matter. Because we get to the final act. And there's all these Star Destroyers. Alright? All these Star Destroyers which have freaking Death Star tech. Somehow Palpatine has this massive fucking army of 1 million Star Destroyers. Don't know how he's feeding this army. Don't know how he got this army. Are they clones? Whatever. I completely forgot that Sith troopers were even in this movie till they showed up and got shat on just like regular stormtroopers. Nothing important about Sith troopers at all. They're just red. Which reminds me of the Knights of Ren. The Knights of Ren are fucking pushovers. They don't even talk in this movie. They're just there, just because they had to have them in this movie, because they mentioned them in 7. Which, the Knights of Ren don't make any sense. Why are they wielding axes and crap when this is Star Wars? They have laser swords, they have blasters, they have tons of unique weapons, but the Knights of Ren are just carrying axes and swords. Okay. They all don't talk at all in the movie, all get killed by Kylo later on. Knights of Ren were completely useless. So Palpatine has this massive army that no one knew about called the, what's it, like the Final Order or something stupid. Of course, they all die. They all suck. They're just stormtroopers. Like I said, doesn't make sense how he has this army here, how it's been hidden for 30 years, how he's supplying this army, where he's getting his resources from since everyone thinks he's dead and he has no authority. He's been gone for 30 years, yet he somehow has all this stuff. Don't know how he's supplying the resources to keep his army alive and paid. How's he paying this army? Like, what is making them fight for Palpatine? I don't know. At least the stuff at the prequels kind of made sense. So let's fast forward to the end here. We have Palpatine. He's addressing Rey, talking about how he wants her to strike him down. And he has, like, all the spirits of all the Sith before him. And, like, if she strikes him down, she will become the next Sith. Because, I don't know, like, if she kills him, she can't just decide, no, I don't want to be evil. No explanation as to why, just that's how it works. So, Kylo shows up, and they go to fight Palpatine. He siphons their power from them somehow. He gets really powerful. He, like, comes back to life. He, like, siphons their force power. He regenerates his zombie hands. He comes back to life. He shoots his OP, like, fully charged force lightning into the sky, only hitting the rebel ships. And you think that he's going to win because he's killing off the rebels. And then he throws Kylo off to the side, and you're like, damn, Palpatine's actually doing stuff. And Rey has, like, the greatest ass pull ever. Rey somehow gets in contact and talks to, like, every dead Jedi in the history of all Jedi. It used to be, like, talking to Force Ghosts was something special. Like, at the end of Episode 3, Yoda was talking about how he had to teach Obi-Wan how to communicate with Qui-Gon. And then eventually Luke went on and talked to Obi-Wan and talked to Yoda. Obviously, since they were trained, they know how the Force Ghost stuff works. Rey, just conveniently, in this time of desperation, talks to every single Force Ghost in the history of all Force Ghosts, and she gets this superpower. She just gets... I don't know... And in that scene with the Force Ghost talking, you hear Anakin, and he's like, he says something along the lines of, like, do what I did, bring balance to the Force. Like, this whole thing was a waste of time. Darth Vader was a waste of a character. Darth Vader's entire arc, 7, 8, 9, just shit on Darth Vader. You have 4, 5, and 6 telling the story of Darth Vader. Luke saves his dad. He brings balance to the Force, kills Palpatine. 1, 2, and 3 tell the backstory of Anakin, why he turned to the dark side, how he was the chosen one. He was supposed to bring balance to the Force. Palpatine fucking lived. Palpatine lived. So if Palpatine's alive, how did Anakin bring balance to the Force? Like, he told Rey, he's like, do what I did, bring balance to the Force. Anakin, you killed off all the Jedi. That's what balanced the Force, you dumb fuck. You killed the Jedi to make you on par with Palpatine, so that's how the Force became balanced. All the Jedi are dead. So you're telling Rey to bring balance to the Force. What's she gonna kill herself to bring balance to the Force? You gonna leave Palpatine alive? Because that's all you accomplished, Anakin. Everything Anakin did was for nothing. Nothing. It meant nothing. Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, like the most iconic villain in all of cinema, was pointless. Oh my god, I hate Disney Star Wars so much. Oh, I hate this. So Palpatine starts shocking at Rey, alright? And Rey is getting this confidence boost from all the Force Ghosts, and she's deflecting Palpatine's lightning, alright? Well, she gets Force pulls Leia's lightsaber, and she's deflecting with 2 sabers now. And Palpatine apparently doesn't learn his lesson, because in Episode 3, when he's shocking at Mace Windu, he doesn't stop when it gets reflected back into his face. You figured, I'm getting shocked, it kind of hurts, I'll just stop shocking. You'd think that's what he would do. All this time passes, been like 40, 50 years, same scenario, except this time he's got really powerful Force lightning. It's like really amped up. He's shocking Rey. She's reflecting it right back into his face, and he just keeps on going. Full force, all he's got, full power, unlimited power, right into my own fucking face. Not gonna stop. It really, really hurts. My face is getting burned to hell. I'm getting, it really hurts, but I'm gonna keep shocking. Whoa. So Palpatine, I guess, technically, I mean, Rey deflected the lightning back, so wouldn't it be her striking him down since she deflected it? Or does it count as Palpatine kills himself? That's what he wanted. If she struck him down, she should have became a Sith because she struck him down. But nope, there's a loophole. He kills himself, therefore she doesn't turn evil. Alright, so Palpatine's dead. Episode 1, Episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Palpatine's the mastermind through all of this. And then he kills himself. He kills himself. He comes back in 9 to kill himself. He somehow, don't know how, survived the Death Star, survived the explosion, survived all this time, somehow got hooked up to life support, comes back, full power, kills himself. Good job, Palpatine. Was that part of your master plan? I mean, the movie ended. Like, the movie's done. Like, this 1 through 9's done. Palpatine survived the Death Star. Why can't he survive this? I bet you it's part of his plan, you know? I bet Palpatine has a backup clone or something way out in the unknown regions, like further out. He's just got a backup plan. He probably has a sea army. It's waiting because he knew this army would die. It's just going to be an endless cycle. I bet Palpatine's still alive. Oh, man. So, Palpatine dies, and Kylo comes back, and Rey dies. She's dead. But Kylo uses this Force healing that we just learned was possible in this movie, and he brings her back to life, alright? Well, he brings her back, and they have this moment, and they kiss. Which is just complete fan service to those people that were like, Reylo, Reylo! Why she would kiss him makes no sense whatsoever, by any means. Because, like, you can't even use the argument that she fell in love with Ben, not Kylo. The entire time on screen, Rey has known Ben, or Kylo. He's been Kylo. In 7, he was Kylo. In 8, he was still Kylo. Even when he killed Snoke, he did that for his own good. Because he just wanted to be the supreme leader. He wanted Snoke gone. In 9, he was Kylo. He's never been Ben Solo in front of Rey. So how did she fall in love with Ben Solo, huh? So she's seen Kylo murder tons of innocent people. She watched Kylo murder his own dad in front of her. And she's in love with this guy? Makes sense to me. Not gonna question it. So they have their kiss. Kylo fades away. He's a Force ghost. He's a good guy now. He's a Force ghost. And then they all have their celebration. Same as Episode 6. They even have Ewoks, just like Episode 6. And the ending, like I said, Finn does not say he loves you to Rey. And the movie ends with her going to Tatooine for no reason other than for nostalgia. They got to have that sunset ending. She's there. She says that she is a Skywalker, even though she's not. She just claims the name. And the movie ends. And none of the characters really had a good ending. Like, Poe met up with the girl that we just assumed that they liked each other in the past. Finn ended the movie... I forget who he ended the movie with. It's just not important. And then Lando ended the movie with the new girl. But that was really weird too, because she's like, I don't know who my parents are. And Lando's just like, well, let's go find them. Like, it was just weird and creepy. And the ending just... It was just purely fan service with her going back to Luke's house and looking off into the sunset. And I have a million more questions I could think of if I sat here and nitpicked forever. Like I said, I could write a book about all the plot holes and things that make no sense with all of 7, 8, and 9 now. But, I mean, I'm sure I'll do another video. I want to do a video with Cookie where we sit down and have a discussion. But I don't want this video to be like 3 hours long, so I'm going to end this here. But those are just some of the problems I had with this movie, and there's way more than that. But for me, it ends at Episode 6, because 7, 8, and 9 just shat on everything that Darth Vader and George Lucas wrote. Everything that George Lucas had in mind with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, what was the point? Why? 7, 8, and 9. 7 copied 4. 8 did its own thing and copied some aspects of 5. And then 9 basically copied the ending of 6. I mean, what was the purpose at the end of 6 when they killed off Palpatine? If at the end of 9, they just do the same thing. And Rey just goes down as the most powerful Jedi in the history of all time. And for some reason, she decided to bury Luke and Leia's sabers and then craft her own, even though there is no more bad people. I didn't even get into how stupid the Star Destroyers were and stuff. That's not even... It's pointless at this point to even bring it up. But what happens to the remaining First Order? I mean, Palpatine has 2 armies. He's got the First Order and the Final Order or whatever. I don't know why I didn't call it the Second Order. So there's all these troopers and stuff. Is it going to be the same thing as what happened with the Empire? Like, the few stragglers go off and create the next army? I don't know. I don't know. 7, 8, 9 was just a complete waste of time. It was so bad. I'm going to go drink some alcohol and try to enjoy the rest of my night. But I don't think that's possible at this point. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this, I'm so jealous of you. If you guys actually enjoyed 7, 8, and 9, I'm so unbelievably jealous of you, because I can't put into words how much I want to love my favorite franchise. I want to love Star Wars, but Disney's made it so hard. Like, The Mandalorian, I think's great. I love The Mandalorian, but the main movies, it shats on everything that I loved as a kid, and it just really Sucks.
We would be honored if you would join us. You cannot resist